Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm on a road trip. Welcome back and thanks for being here. I'm on my first road trip in a little while. My wife isn't joining me on this one. I'm heading down to see Jake Baun, also known as GTI, Jake, of Baun Performance, LLC. He's known in discussion forums for some expertise on exhaust systems, and he builds exhaust systems. Jake is about 6 hours from me, so I'm heading down to his place and going to spend the night in a nearby town so that he and I can get to work installing it first thing in the morning. I don't know how long he and I will be working on the car in the morning. Maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. But from there, I am only 3 hours, I think, from the tail of the dragon. And why wouldn't I want to drive the tail of the dragon, right? Even with my trailer. I forgot to mention, I'm sure you've noticed that I've got my trailer behind me. And that's because I'm bringing back my factory exhaust. He tells me that it would fit in the back of the car. It'd be a tight fit, but I don't like tight fits. Yeah, I know where your mind is going with that. I'm also not interested on this trip of stopping into a lot of places to eat. So I have my 12-volt cooler in the back with some food that I'm going to eat along the way. Basically, I'm going to do all of my rest stops, hopefully a designated rest stops. I don't know, I guess I'm trying to minimize my contact with people and things. And so the easiest way to do that is just to pack my food. So half of my trunk is filled with a cooler. The other half has a small bag, and then I've got a backpack behind me, and it's got my electronics and things like that in there. Anyway, my point for telling you all of that is I don't have the room to drop the seats and stick a muffler in the back, even if I wanted to shove it in here. So I have plenty of room in the trailer for it, and that's what I have the trailer for. I don't mind pulling it at all. I think on this trip I will get 30 plus miles per gallon. I'm not driving terribly fast. I don't have the extra cargo rack on the trailer, so it's pretty aerodynamic for a trailer. After Tail of the Dragon, I'm going to stop at Bristol, Tennessee, and then that morning my goal is to get up and drive a road that I just discovered. I mean, there's nothing new about it. I just didn't know about it. It's called Back of the Dragon, and it was apparently inspired by Tail of the Dragon. And Tail of the Dragon is a lot more twisty, curvy, but it's also because it's short. And I would dare say congested. Back of the Dragon has, I think, as many curves, if not more, but it's a longer road with a higher speed limit, so it'll be a different experience. I'll have the tight hairpin turns and stuff like that, but I'll have a break between them all, and there'll be plenty of room for people to pass me if they don't like being behind the trailer. People really hate being behind a trailer. It's amazing. It doesn't matter if I'm driving 10 over the speed limit and passing people. When somebody sees that trailer coming in the rearview mirror, they will speed up just to avoid being behind me. And then once I tuck in behind them, they slow back down again. They just can't stand it. And so on Tail of the Dragon, there are people that will go out there and drive it in accordance with the speed limit. The Tennessee police, state police, I think, or the staties, they're very strict on that road. The speed limit is 35, which I think is a little low, but they aggressively enforce it when they're out there. So when they're out there, I try not to go more than, say, 39, and I hear they'll get you for 40 if they're feeling strict. Even with the strict enforcement, there's always people out there that want to do 50 or more. They're trying to set a personal record, and I'm going to wind up pissing those people off because I do pull off. There's a lot of pull-offs back in there. For the most part, it's a two-lane road with no shoulder, but there are in some of the turns pull-offs where you can get out of the way and let people pass. And I do pull off. even when I'm not pulling a trailer. So when I'm pulling the trailer, I will pull off and get out of the way. But that doesn't matter. It wouldn't matter if I was doing 45 miles an hour on that 35 on Tail of the Dragon. People will hate being behind me because of the trailer. They'll be mad because of the trailer. Never mind the fact that my car and my trailer take up less space than an F-350 dually long bed or maybe a Sprinter van. So it's not about the space and it's not about the speed. It's about the stigma of being behind a trailer. So yeah, that was a weird little rabbit chase. I will take a pause for now and get back to you when I am on the road. Yeah, I'll be right back. My trip to see Jake was a success. The exhaust is installed and it looks and sounds really good. It is just a little louder than I prefer, but the thing that surprised me about it is I'm pretty sure the car got faster. I wasn't expecting that. I'll tell you more about the exhaust in a future video. For now, I'll just tell you about the rest of the trip. I did drive on the Tail of the Dragon yesterday, and I spent more time at Jake's than I expected, and so I was a little concerned that I wasn't going to make it to the Tail of the Dragon before the photographers packed up and went home. But I got there. They weren't all there, but I think there were definitely 2 photographers. There might have been a third, I don't remember. I drove from the Tail of the Dragon to... the name of the city just slipped my mind. It's just a little ways west of Bristol. I'll flash it up here because I can't think of it right now. But before I got that far, something that my daughter and I like to do when we come to Tennessee, and we have seen a few examples in South Carolina. Crystal. It's a burger joint, to put it loosely. I don't know how to describe it really. I can't compare it to the In-N-Out burgers out in California because that's a different type of burger, I think. Marketing wise, it's similar to White Castle, but taste wise it's not. I'm pretty sure the recipes are different. But I don't usually get the burgers at Crystal anyway. I usually get their little hot dogs. They have these little mini chili cheese dogs. They're called pups, and so I get the 3-pack of pups with cheese and chili. My daughter was not with me, so all I could do was take a picture and share. And I'm sure she's envious, but she'll get her chance. She's getting ready to be stationed back on the East Coast, and she'll have her chances to visit a Crystal almost whenever she wants, because it's not really anywhere near where she's stationed. Today, if you can't tell with the twisty turny road here, I am on another road. It's called the Back of the Dragon. Tail of the Dragon versus Back of the Dragon. Some people say that the Back of the Dragon is the better road, and I guess that depends on what you're after. Tail of the Dragon, way more twisty mile for mile, but it's also a little more congested because it's more popular, I think. On top of that, the slow speed limit, it's only 30 miles an hour. I'm not quite sure what to make of that, because Tail of the Dragon is a road that can be safely driven faster than 30 miles an hour, but they have it marked down because of all the people who crash, I guess. Back of the Dragon, the speed limit on it is 45 for most of it, and then 55 for some of it. What I found when I drove it, and I don't know that it's the trailer, I don't think the trailer necessarily did it, I felt that most of the road you can't drive the speed limit on anyway. I guess what it's saying is you can drive 45 if you can go 45. The corners are marked adequately to warn you of, say slow speeds or whatever. And then on the 55 mile an hour section, Sure, there were a couple of parts where I felt like I could do 55, but for the most part, no, I was doing less than that. I probably never got out of fourth gear, third gear most of the time. Take that for what it's worth. Tail of the Dragon, speed limit is too low and you want to drive it faster. Back of the Dragon, the speed limit is set higher than you're able to drive it anyway. So depending on where you are, how close you are, your back of the Dragon might be the better bet for you. That's my report of the tail of the Dragon versus the back of the Dragon. The trip was a success. It was enjoyable. It'd have been nice if my wife could have joined me, but she, I think, would have been bored senseless during the exhaust install, and she does not like driving on roads like this, so this is not going to really be, would not really have been a good trip for her. I guess a summary, I can't really tell you how many miles total I've driven. I will post all that information up above. There was, it was planned to be over 1,100 miles, and as far as my fuel economy goes with all of this, I got about 30 miles at a gallon on the way out to Jake's, because that was all just pure highway travel. And then the second trip was heading out toward Tail of the Dragon. That also included exhaust testing, so plenty of sprints and high speed, not really high speed runs, but just foot to the floor, flogging it, just to check the exhaust for rattles and stuff like that. And then the next tank was the Tail of the Dragon, so lots of twisty roads going out to the tail, and then of course the tail itself. I forgot to say I got 28 miles a gallon on both of those. So with the open throttle stuff and the twisty roads and the mountains, 28 miles a gallon. And mind you, this is pulling a 700-pound trailer. And this trip here, yeah, I'm flogging it just a little bit here on the back of the Dragon, but after that I'll just be on the highway all the way home, and I wouldn't be too surprised if I get 30 miles a gallon again. Maybe, maybe not, because of the flogging that I'm doing right now. But I'll be sure to share it with you, and then an overall average. So yeah, stay tuned. I think my next video will be the exhaust install. Thanks for being here, and I will see you next time. Take care.